It's a great day to be hiking the Port Alberni subdivision of the Esquimalt and Nanaimo Railway. This is mile 16.1 above the west end of Cameron Lake, and I'm on my way back after doing my turnaround, and it's been a fun hike. This is an extra special spot because of the wonderful message on the tree behind me and the wonderful people that left that message and cleared the windfall. I hope you enjoy this video. I had a great hike. Here's the big picture map of today's hike, Vancouver Island on the west coast of British Columbia, and the red circle is the rough area of my hike. I explained the location further on in the video. Enjoy! 7:30 in the morning. Time to start my hike. I'm right between the McBay Creek Bridge and Little Qualicum Bridge. They're very close to each other, so it's about mile 12.4. Little Qualicum River. Cameron Lake siding. Here's the set on, set off place. Cameron Lake chalets, private cabins, are down on the left. And there's a view of the lake. Somewhere here on the left is where the Cameron Lake station and chalet, hotel, whatever you want to call it, was. So the purpose of the hike today, as always, is to get outside, get some exercise, to see the autumn leaves, or what's left of them. Today is October 30th, so it's late in the autumn leaves season. This hike is an out and back, kind of a two-parter. The first 2 miles out to the big trestle I've done, I don't know, 6 or 7 times in the last couple years. And then when I get to the big trestle, I'll continue on for another just over 2 miles along the back end of the lake, getting to the northwest corner of Cameron Lake along the railway. And so this is one of those checkup hikes where the second part of it I only get to once a year. This is the 3rd year in a row I've done that. And the reason it's important for me to check up on it is it's in poor shape in terms of overgrowth, and it's also the area really prone to rock slides, windfalls, washouts, all that kind of bad stuff that's happened historically over the years of operating this railway. So this will be the last piece of the puzzle for me for this year's checkup hikes, and I'll show you on the maps the various segments that I've done on the 21 miles between mile 12.4 and 33.4. So here are the 21 miles in year 2021. Here's the first segment from October 10th, 2021. Then I added 6 miles on September 25th, 2021. Added a bit more on September 10th. A little stub amount back in March 13th. There's what I did on September 3rd. And now the last piece, October 30th, going past Cameron Lake. And the blue part on the right is, again, what my hike is. So there's what I've done for 2021. 21 miles. I'm approaching the mile 13.7 trestle. The first of the Lakeview trestles for me today. Just around this corner. Once I get out of this jungle broom. Oh, I love getting here in nice light like it is right now with the sun touching the top of the mountain there. This is going to be nice for photography and simple to cross. I love sketchy trestles that I know, like this one. Here's the immediate problem, but if you see inside there, there's a big beam underneath. It's called the stringer. It goes parallel to the rails. I'm on it right now. And you just go with that under you. And where you have a big gap like this, you just step down onto the stringer like I'm doing right now. This is so beautiful. This is a spot to linger for a few moments, take a few photographs as the sun lights up the slope. In a few moments I'll get down to my next couple trestles. This is what it's like at my feet. Okay, let's finish up here. Just past this trestle is a second one, and I just mean like literally just past it. There's just a small area of land behind a retaining wall between these. That's a nice gap. Just walk across. Ignore what I said earlier about always being on top of the stringers. It's all about your own comfort level, which is informed by your own level of experience. That's where I just came from. Nice area. Yeah, all chewed up here, so let's go back onto the stringer. Look how deep that is. Deep meaning the beam. Pretty thick is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's tiptoe across mile 13.8 trestle, the little guy. Not too exciting. Here's the view looking back. Okay, back to a bit of broom jungle. But you know what? This is nothing compared to what I'm going to experience in the worst part today, which I'm just going to have to push through literally and mentally and just keep moving. Again, I do it at this time of year, so I don't need to worry about ticks. The cold weather has hopefully killed them off. Here's the mile 14 trestle. Straight, simple, in good shape with the deck on top. I haven't stepped out on this one for a while. The timbers look good. Not too bad. Here's the sound of running water. Water coming over the rock. I'll show you in a moment, but let's listen. comes out of the culvert there in the abutment. Runs off the rocks here. Does this mean it's a spring? I guess so. Here's the lake. Beautiful. Another photo opportunity here. I love this part of the hike. Around the corner is the big trestle at mile 14.6. It's just a place of beauty and peace for me. Every time I've been at this trestle, I've taken a photograph from that same spot on the first fire barrel platform. There used to be 3 on either side. Now there's only 2 on the left side. One of them fell in the last year. Oh, there's a bit of softness right there. I stepped on the tie, right here. This one. I got the stringer right below me. So I was really crunching the tie down onto the stringer. This is one of the more spectacular viewpoints and structures and spots on the entire E&N system. Do I have enough cameras? That's the question. Beauty spot here. Lovely. Sun is about to pop out over top of that mountain. It's a fire barrel platform. Fall in there. Okay, here's the bones of it. Here's where it was. Okay, I finished a quick break here, and now it's ready for the jungle. Between mile 14.6 and mile 16.6, 16.7, something like that. I don't expect any vegetation cutback work to have been done here. Mile 16.7 was the extent of it from the other end. I would love to be pleasantly surprised, but we'll see. And again, I haven't been down this way since this time last year, and this will just be my 3rd time going through here, so we'll see how it is. I apologize to anyone from Scotland who loves the broom plant, but over here on Vancouver Island, it's just a horrible invasive species, and it's brutal on the landscape. Just takes over, as you can see here, chokes everything else out, and of course is a great place for ticks to live. So not a great thing here. So my hate is towards the plant and the plant over here. Just have to keep moving, and then every once in a while I'll stop and wipe the cobwebs off my face. I'm on a long tangent section straight away. This is between the trestle and a big rock outcropping that's visible from the highway. So it's between mile 14.6 and 15.2. This isn't even the worst part yet, but it's hard to see ahead, which isn't all that great for safety, for things like animals and stuff. To do another disclaimer, I'm not a grumpy complainer. I'm really a content, grateful person. I just hate this invasive species broom and what it does to pathways, railways like this. I'm thankful that I am doing this hike today. I'm thankful for the opportunity to walk in railway history and such a beautiful location here at Cameron Lake. And most of all, I would be very thankful if the day comes, when the day comes, when I can't walk down here because it's an active operational railway. That would just be lovely. Until then, I am happy to document how these hard to get to areas look. Easy walk in here. Here's the mile 15 sign. Not easily visible. It's not easily visible going westbound. And here comes more jungle as I come towards the mile 15.1, 15.2 curve with the big rock outcropping. That's catching a lot of sunlight up ahead. That should be nice. And I'm in the curve. You can see the right rail. Yeah, I can see both rails now. It's always a treat when you're off walking on the railway and you can see the rails. This is a special area. Those of you with an aversion to sarcasm should probably affix your sarcasm monitors now. I'm coming up to the big rock face area further higher up on the slope. It's visible from across the highway. Looking back at where I came from here at mile 15.2. Morning sun there in the distance. Here's the big rock bluff. It's got to be a nice landmark for when they were running trains to know they were almost at the big trestle. There's water dripping from the rock. Lovely to hear. And beside the railway, looking up, blue sky and Arbutus. That's lovely. These morning hikes always give opportunity for the shadow selfie. Oh, it's just going to get thicker up ahead here. Yay! Well, about mile 15.3. I'm about mile 15.4, 15.5, something like that. Here's sawdust. I was just going to comment soon that I haven't seen any new windfalls blocking the track other than a few saplings down, and no new rockfall problems yet. But there's an example of hikers or ATVers, some good people clearing that at some point. Thank you. Here's a spot where a culvert was blocked, and so all the sediment, sand and gravel and stuff came down the creek and piled up here. So it has overrun the track. So it's actually like walking up a hill. Here I am now. You can see the rails ahead, and then they disappear to where I am, and then they reappear down there. So it's just hard packed gravel where I'm standing. Here's another spot where a windfall has been cleared in the last year. Thank you, recreational users. You are wonderful. There's the silt up on a mound above the rail grade. And back down to level ground where I can see rails again. So I'm hopeful because there's a spot up ahead where there was a double windfall that used to require me to crouch and crawl. And I'd really love if I didn't have to do those gymnastics today. We'll find out. I don't see it. It's a rock face here. It's a drop off a bank. In I think 1947 there was an accident where a locomotive went over the bank. This is at the end of the steam era. I'm thankful to the Robert Turner and the late Don McLaughlin's book on the E&N CPR steam years for that information. Yeah, we're in Canada, eh? You know, this is not as bad as I was dreading it to be. I wonder what the heat event and drought during the summer did to the broom. I'd love if it kind of harmed the broom. Coming up soon should be where there were those twin windfalls. Here's a nice obstacle. Just a bit of gymnastics to figure out over and under. So I don't know if I'm going to see that without the landmark of those twin windfalls. I don't quite know exactly where I am yet. Speaking of trees, here's some arbutus that's come down, and oh, look up there. Windfalls have come down there and they're lying here, so I just have to walk around. That's what I'm walking around. It's taking a wide path. Thankfully it's built up here. And I come back to the friendly confines of the rails. Can't get lost if I stay between the rails. Okay, this is interesting here. I can see a barrel. It's got all the lookings of a fire barrel. And here's a stockpile covered with moss of these things. Hey, I'll just get the word wrong, so tie fastener or something like that around back here with the barrel. Let's just walk around and see. Yeah, this whole pile is a pile of old railway stuff. Yeah, I'm not on the tracks yet. Let's get back to the rails. Ah, here's the pails. Okay. So the double windfall was here. There's the set off area. Thank you to whoever cut the double windfall. I'm very, very thankful for that. And I'll continue. Nice treble cleft there. Yeah, about mile 15.5, something like that. 15.6. This broom has been cut. It's been cut. This is great. I'm hopeful, perhaps. The worst part was just around mile 16, so I'll see if it's still a jungle. I've been building it up to be. If it's not, am I disappointed? Hey, no, I'm elated. Here's more broom that's been cut around mile 15.8 maybe. Here comes a windfall. There was a windfall like that at mile 16. This might be mile 16, and if it is, this is amazing because it was not like this last year. It was way worse. I'm so thankful someone's been through here. This is what I was dreading right here. And cut broom, wow. Not only is there not broom right here, but this lovely autumn leaves, creating a really nice scene. This is gorgeous. Yeah, here comes mile 16. Here comes a little wind, dropping some leaves. Again, I will put a comparison video of this time last year. I just hated this. Nothing is easy here today. It's like really thick and tall broom, and but I'm almost at my turnaround point, mile 16. So I'm happy about that. But this is brutal. I don't know if I can come back here again. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse. This really is brutal. It's easier last year, and 1 year makes a big difference for broom growth. And you know what? Broom's never going to get cut back, so this is just going to be so impassable next year and the year after, which is a real shame. And I said I wasn't really wanting to come back. Now look at this. Wow. Thank you, whoever did this. Now the mile 16 post is missing its 16, but at least the post is there. The big boulder is gone as well. I remember sitting on that log. Wow. Okay, I'm very happy with this clear, easy walking here as I walk westward from mile 16. My goal is to go as far as, we'll say mile 16.7 or so, which has been my frequent turnaround point coming from the other way. It was my turnaround point because that was how far the brushing work had happened going eastward. So I'll see if I can go all the way through now nicely. There's a big windfall that used to be here. Really large tree, quite distinctive. Here's that fabulous tree. And now it's been cleared. Yet more reason to celebrate today. Wow. Vive la différence. Yeah, there's a good reason. Oh, I love people. Look at that. This is a good spot to be for me. Thanks to whoever did the greeting on the tree stump for me, and of course thank you for clearing this windfall. This windfall is actually kind of a special one for me, even before this message was put onto it. Back when it was lying on the track, it was my original turnaround point. The first time I ever hiked here back in June of 2019, I came at it from the west, and this was my turnaround point. And then later on in, I think, October that year, I came at it from the east and found the same spot, and that was my turnaround. And so this is kind of a special place at mile 16.1. Okay, I'll leave this wonderful spot, come back to it in half an hour or so. Just got a bit more hiking to do, and then I'll turn around and come back. So now I'm just curious to see how far this brushing work goes, and based on how well the broom has been cut right off for most of the broom, I'm really thinking this is part of the brushing contractor who has resumed the work. And there's still bits of broom here. Not as bad as it used to be, and evidence right there of broom being cut off. So this is great. Here's some more broom, bit of windfall up ahead. So yeah, it's not perfect, but obviously someone's been through here, and who knows, this windfall might be a whole lot more recent. That's where it came down from. This might have just come down in the last week or so. We had a really bad windstorm last weekend on Vancouver Island. Alright, back into a bit of jungle. And we're clear again. This is a nice area for walking here. Here's some rail that was broken by a rock slide, repaired by the East End track gang years ago. Oh yeah, here's a pushed out area, a rock slide area. I just met a couple hikers who came up from this trail, which goes down to the Cabin Road, connects to Cathedral Grove Park. I'll just continue west here for a bit. Some more broom. Oh yeah, the jungle. But not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think I'm coming up to mile 16.7, which is my turnaround point. This rock face here is what tells me I'm here, as well as the curve. And now I can see the old rocks on the left side up ahead, where I have taken a turnaround break many times. It's nice to arrive back at a spot from the other end. And just up here around the corner is where I like to do my little turnaround, because there's some nice rocks to lean up against and take a bit of a break. I'd go further, but the broom's awful, and I only want to do that after there's been a frost. It's the view of the lake through there. I'll go back that way in a few minutes. I'll wait till I get back to my low light mic old windfall and have my turnaround break there. Okay, looking westward where I'm not going. I'll go back eastward. So, behind me, the brushing continues all the way to mile 24.7 or 24.8 at Lacey Lake Road. That's right near the Stokes siding. And in front of me, I classify this as light brushing. Had enough evidence over this next mile from 16.7 back to 15.7 approximate. And enough evidence of people who have been here doing some cutting. but there's been gaps, so I'm a bit perplexed, not quite knowing if this has been official brush cutting or just people that use this corridor and care. So I'm not quite sure, but I do know that around mile 16 there's a good stretch where there's been some obvious broom cut right down to the ground level. Eventually all will be known, I guess, but at the moment I'm just thankful that there's spots that are easier to walk, and just proof that I'm not the only person who's been here, obviously. Here's an example of a piece of broom on the ground that's been cut in the midst of this. So again, I'm calling it light brushing. It's not too bad right here, but there'll be maybe another broom patch soon. Working my way back, here's an area where a rock slide was fixed and rail was repaired. Here's the little bit of rail broken at the end. I'm pretty sure I know some of the good people involved in fixing this. This bend on the rail right through there. E&N Track Gang, you guys do great work. Here's one of the rare areas in this mile with tall broom, making it a bit difficult to walk. Here's some more of it. Let's go through. And we come out of it. This is maybe mile 16.4 or so. Here's one of 2 windfalls for the day that I need to go out of my way to get around. The other one is just a mess of arbutus. This one I just go around. Again, my theory is that this is a recent one, like recent in the last few weeks, maybe even last weekend. And now back to an area where the broom has been busted, or at least cut off right near ground level. And here I am coming back about mile 16.1 or so. I can see the mile 16 area in the distance with a windfall across. But more importantly now, my delayed turnaround break is going to happen right here at the low light mic tree. And I'm going to reach into my pack and get my can of Lucky that I brought with me and crack it open. The Lucky can in the tree stump here isn't empty, but it adds that Port Alberni character. Been packing this beer in my pack so it gets a little bit shook up. It's my Esquimalt and Nanaimo Railway hat, and the can of Lucky is telling me that I'm on the Port Alberni Subdivision. Cheers! Cheers to the E&N Railway Port Alberni Subdivision from Low Light Mike. Alright, I'm leaving this fine spot until next time I see it. Yeah, in case I was wondering how it fell and stuff. Look at just that, right down the middle of the rod. I just don't want to leave now. Yeah, this has been just fabulous. I'm really thankful. And now it's even more special. Thank you again. So, I have to leave. Let's go back eastward now. Here's mile 16. This part walking to the mile 16 post used to be very brutal. Now you can see that there's been some light brushing done. I'll show you what it used to look like. And here I am, the mile 16 scene. Better light than when I was here on my way in. Time to stop for a photograph, and I can show you a comparison. So that's been nicely rolled out of the way. Mile 16 post, a bit naked, but hey, at least the post remains. Got some seriously bent rail right here from the stump, or whatever you want to call the windfall. Yeah, just a bit of a curve. I think it's time to head on eastward. So the walk is by no means smooth and easy right now, but it's a lot better than it used to be. Just by knocking some of the biggest broom down. I just nicely tripped over some foliage here. A bunch of broom or something, I'll blame it. So, took a tumble. My knees went clunk onto the either the rail or the tie. My fault for not watching my footing and getting my feet caught in some of the thick foliage. Here's the set on, set off area. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. Right by the grease cans in the woods. Just keep moving forward. Always watch your footing. Now I'm definitely in the broom part again. Back when I thought today's hike was going to be brutal broom like this the entire way, I had thought through what my introduction to the hike would be, and I was going to do it when I was walking through bad broom, and I was going to say something like this: Jungle broom, the final frontier. This is a hike by Lowlight Mike. His self-appointed mission to explore the E&N Port Alberni Subdivision, to seek out photographic opportunity, and to boldly go where no train has gone for almost 20 years. Well, that was the idea. But turns out that the jungle broom, although jungle broom exists in certain spots on this hike, it was not nearly as prevalent as I had dreaded it to be. And for that, I am grateful. Here's the spot with the blocked culvert that's pushed sediment up onto the track and a cleared windfall. As I climb up the mound of gravel, still between the rails. Can't see the rails? Okay, I can see them now. I'm always grateful for landmarks. Tell me where I am. Gives me encouragement that I really am making forward progress. And here is that lovely rock bluff at about mile 15.2 or so. So I'll go around it and then start the long straightaway towards the big trestle. Here's an interesting old box. I do not know what it used to hold. Right beside the grade around mile 15.2. Okay. More broom jungle as I push through. I just have to be more wary about my feet getting caught. Alright. Some more jungle broom. Can't really tell if I'm on the long straightaway yet. Here's the mile 15 post. My only milepost, fully intact milepost I've seen today. I'm back on the nice straight stretch around mile, was it now, 14.9 or so. Heading towards the trestle. I needed some motivation. The trestle is my nice sort of reward for getting this far back. And it's just up around the corner. I can see the land opening up. I like railway signs that remind me of when this was an actively operated railway. That sign tells me that if there's an obstruction ahead, so if I've got something low, like a snowplow blade or something, I need to lift it. Because the obstruction coming on ahead is the inner guardrail on the trestle. Otherwise known as the Jordan Rail. Mile 14.6. It is beautiful. Alright, let's cross the mile 14.6 big trestle. Heading eastward. Got the sun on my right. It's about 1:30 p.m. Oh yeah, this is a fun spot. Nice shadow. The shadows are not my friend right now. Okay, until next time, mile 14.6 trestle. I'll continue on homeward. This lake view is just so nice. And here's mile 14 trestle. The water flowing down the rock is nice. Really nice. Okay, mile 13.8 trestle. Little guy here. I'm gonna try to go straight down the middle. Ah, the lake sure is beautiful beside me. And the trestle is a lot of fun. I am in the shadows. Alright, and now the twin. Well, it's not really a twin, not identical. The mile 13.7 trestle awaits. Yay! Let's just see what it looks like from over here. And the lake and that splash of color with the leaves. Very nice. So I'm walking on the stringers. I'm standing on the stringer beam right now. Hard to see with the shadows. That's why I love being here at dawn. Okay, let's continue on eastward. Back into the shadows. Ah, this has been nice. This is the site of the Cameron Lake Water Tower. So the concrete forms are now holding up these spare bits of rail. One, the other run right through there. This is mile maybe 12.8, something like that, I'm guessing. Beside me on my left, underneath the leaves, is the Cameron Lake siding. You can see bits of rail through there. It's a pretty long siding. On the left, you can see bits of the siding. It's fun to see the rail in there. I've climbed in there a few times. And we break out at Cameron Lake siding. There's the siding track in plain view. The maintenance cars apparently are owned by a private individual. That is what I've heard. I have no idea on the details or the accuracy. Here's the set on, set off area at Cameron Lake siding, east end. I got the Little Qualicum River beside me on my right. The highway is across from that on the right. I can hear road. And the big windfall up ahead is the landmark for the trail that goes up to Wesley Ridge. So the parking area that I'm coming to, where I park, most of the people who park there are going up Wesley Ridge. Very popular hike. And the trail's right here. Goes right there. When I arrived this morning about 7:15 a.m., I was the only car in the parking area. I'm curious to see how full it is right now. Yeah, it's kind of full.